Hi everybody, this is Dee over at Aloha Astro, and today is the new moon in Aries on April the 5th, and the new moon occurred at 4:51 this morning at 15 degrees 17 minutes of Aries. And let's take a look at the image I chose for the day, which is, I could not find the actual original artist of this, so I have nobody to credit, but I feel like this embodies Artemis a bit more than Diana, yet they are one and the same goddess, just different faces of them. And here she is with her golden hind and busy drawing back her arrow on the hunt, and a beautiful new moon, a sliver of a moon. So I have the feeling this is old and it may be in public domain, but I did like the picture very much. And I feel like we have a strong mix of masculine and feminine energy going on at this new moon, and she is a goddess who, although is identified with the moon, which is a strong feminine planet, there is also strong masculine overtone to Artemis / Diana in terms of her warrior-like energy, and she is also a fierce protector of women and children and animals, and very connected to nature. And when we get to the Sabian symbol, we'll see that the interpretation for the degree of the moon has a strong connection to nature energy. So today, new moon in Aries, Friday, April 5th, supports taking decisive action in pursuing your purpose and striving for success. However, there may be delays or hard work ahead, while the moon forms a cardinal T-square with Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn and the North Node in Cancer. It is possible that the more challenging something is, or the harder to obtain, the greater the appeal, due to the competitive energy of the Aries moon. It can motivate you to up your own game and break your own personal record, or you may seek a worthy opponent who will serve as a catalyst to energize you. If you find yourself at odds with someone at this new moon, ask yourself why you attracted them and what the relationship is teaching you about yourself. Sensitivity, high ideals, and multiple options for action are present with the mutable planets of Venus, Mercury, and Neptune in Pisces, Jupiter in Sagittarius, and Mars in Gemini. So, how to come to an ultimatum or find a direct path while so much dreaming, playfulness, and meandering is still holding court in the heavens. Spend a bit of time alone in this dark cycle of the moon and see which one thing most important to you rises to the top, stands out, or aggravates you more than any other, and make that your target. Pre-program your dreams at bedtime to see a perfect outcome, and share your intentions deliberately with the elements of nature. Spring is the perfect time to draw on the energy of growth the earth offers while you initiate something of your own. So let's take a look at the moment of the new moon today over here at Planet Watcher. And we can see that the new moon is there in that T-square with Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn and the North Node in Cancer. And this may feel very purpose-driven in terms of your destiny or fate, but there is also a lot of discipline or perhaps challenge involved in getting to that point. The supportive energy that Saturn and Pluto are receiving is from the Pisces planets. So there is potential there for support if you do keep the faith or stay on the spiritual plane, and also to connect with forces that are unseen, such as the elements of nature or your guides and angels. And Jupiter is not in any extremely exact aspects with anything, but does throw up a host of assorted energy, kind of like a mixed grab bag here, where we do have a square to Neptune and Mercury. We find trines going on to the Sun and the Moon loosely, and a quincunx here to the North Node. So attempt to stay open to multiple options and remain flexible while you are going after your goals or your aims. And if other people are telling you something is not possible, I would say what they believe should not be what you believe. And that is one thing that an Aries new moon can really focus on, is you, yourself. What do you want? What do you believe? What is important to you? And are you willing to go after it? Mars also makes a sextile here to Chiron, and this says to me that it is on you, or what you decide. It should be your decision, and you should be able to rest easily with your decision, even if you don't know the outcome or how something will go. I think you would feel better if you make a decision for yourself and by yourself, especially if it is something that is very important to you. So that doesn't mean you can't listen to other people or get advice or listen to the experiences of others, especially your elders or spiritual counselors or advisors, but things still come down to you. And the new moon can definitely make you realize that you are responsible for your life and that you live your life and not other people. So that is what's going on here with the transits. Let's see when we move off into some Taurus energy, and we will be doing so tomorrow. By lunchtime, we have the moon enter into Taurus. It does pick up some instability, even though it's an earth moon, as it joins Uranus and brings in that Uranian slightly craziness, or expect the unexpected, and we will still be kind of tweaked because of new moon. And I don't think until we get to Sunday, where the moon stabilizes a bit and is more comfortable with itself, and you yourself emotionally may be feeling more comfortable or stable, as we have a sextile to the Pisces planets and trine to the Capricorn planets occur, and I would say you are then settled into something, or you know where you stand, you're on firm ground. So Sunday is the day where you may be able to feel some relief or see something that you are working on right now become more real as you come out of this new moon. So let's read the Sabian symbol as well. It's a lengthy one. The first level of Aries, actional, it claims, and phase 16, Aries 16, we round up from 15 degrees 17 minutes to 16 degrees. Nature spirits are seen at work in the light of sunset. Keynote, attunement to the potency of invisible forces of nature. In the light of personal fulfillment, symbol of sunset and wisdom, man may be able to establish a life-giving contact with natural forces. These are active anytime growth processes take place, but man's individualized mind is usually too focused on working for consciously set goals to be able to realize concretely the presence of invisible or occult forces in operation. These forces constitute a specific realm of any planetary life. They are inherent in all biospheres on whatever planet. They are non-individualized and unfree energies forming in the stratum of all life processes, thus of the process of integration at the level of the planet as a whole, i.e. the planet as an organism with its automatic systems of growth, maintenance, and organic multiplication. In this planetary organism, those nature forces act as guiding and balancing, harmonizing factors, somewhat as the endocrine system does in a human body. And behind this system, the more occult web of chakra energies related to prana, the solar energy. It is when this energy becomes less dominant, thus symbolically at sunset, or when the body energy is weakened by illness, fasting, or sensory deprivation, that it becomes easier to perceive these nature spirits and to give them forms that symbolize the character of their activities. These forms differ from the cultural imagery of each human collectively, retaining nevertheless some basically similar characteristics. When this Sabian symbol reaches into the consciousness of a man seeking meaning, it should be seen as an invitation to open his mind to the possibility of approaching life in a holistic and non-rational, intuitive manner. I think this really does resonate with what we currently have with so much Piscean energy still in place, particularly Neptune Pisces, Neptune Mercury conjunction, that we should tune into our intuition and open up to the unseen realms and those forces such as the divas of nature. And this brings to mind Michelle Small Wright's works with her Perelandra garden, and you may have an interest in looking into her, Googling her, and seeing what she has to say about man working with the force of nature. She believes that we were meant to be co-creators with nature, and that a lot of the dis-ease and problems in our lives and in society can be traced back to the disconnect, where we lost that connection and no longer turn toward nature for co-creation within our life. So she has energy practices outlined in her garden workbooks, and there are 2 workbooks on gardening, and they are not just about gardening. You do not have to be a gardener to get something out of that, and she herself has a website with a lot of good free information if you want to look more into the co-creative process with nature as a means to furthering growth and success in your own life. So let's see. This is the first stage of the 4th fivefold sequence of cyclic phases. It implies a call to repotentialization. What this means also is the process of becoming like a little child. So I think that means to basically lose all the clutter that your layers of conditioning and things that other people maybe have told you to think or believe throughout a lifetime, and coming back to an essential core of yourself, which is, of course, very Aries, and looking at you at an initiating point, or going back to a very early and formative phase. And there are processes that people do energetically for doing that as well, such as rebirthing. I've never experienced that, but I imagine also that if you set the intention to get back to your simplest core and your innocence or your beginning, that your own spirit can guide you in a meditation or exercise like that and remove the clutter and the conditioning and come back to an essential being and an understanding of yourself without the input from everybody else that might have told you who you are or reflect things to you that maybe are not necessarily you, but you've accepted that. What I particularly love about the goddess Artemis is that she is fiercely independent, and I think she trusts animals more than she does other people at times, and is very self-sufficient and okay on her own, yet she does take up the cause of mothers, especially mothers carrying babies and young children, as protector and wanting to be there upon the arrival of a new and innocent being. So she's fiercely protective of women and of the creative process of life, and has multiple facets to her being, but in particular, she knows who she is. That's what I have always felt about the energy of this goddess, is that she knows who she is. And if you anagram the word, the name Artemis, and move the letters around, you get the words I master. So that is something that resonates very strongly with Aries energy as well. Aries is that cardinal boss-like fire sign that says I am. So a good question at the new moon may be for you, who are you? Who are you really at your core? What is your essential being? And how do you want to bring that forward as you move ahead? And that's my insight on the new moon today on April the 5th. And as always, be safe, be happy, and many blessings. Until I talk to you again next time.